What is going on, you guys? Petplatypus here. Mob Psycho 100, episode 12. This was a phenomenal episode, and I've already tried to record this review like 4 times. I just can't get it right, so no more fucking takes. What you're about to get is what you're about to get. But this episode is absolutely phenomenal. I guess you're talking about 11 a little bit. From what I remember of 11, Reigen was just amazing, which he's amazing in this episode as well, but episode 11, the hypnosis sucker punch and the drop kick and him convincing those guys that he's the leader, all of that was just phenomenal. I love how he comes into this like total shonen situation, this total like psychics versus psychic, everything's overly dramatic, and he just walks in like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, these are kids, don't hurt them. Like, it's just so funny. And then you have this episode where Mob gives him his powers unintentionally, and it furthers his con artist bullshit of him being a badass, which is funny, but it also just makes way for some great scenes, great interactions with the Claw members, and just phenomenal animation, and Reigen just being a badass and really funny while doing it, and it's... Oh man, I can't say enough good things about this episode. It's not going to get an 11 out of 10. It didn't quite hit me like that, but this was still a phenomenal episode of Mob Psycho 100. One of the best, easily. I know some people might be a little disappointed by this episode, and I guess some people were, expecting the whole typical, Mob sees Reigen on the ground, hits 100%, freaks out, fucks everybody up. But I like how this turned out. I like that it wasn't that generic, and that would have been cool, it would have been fine. But I like that it did throw something different out there, and it worked, and it was funny, and it was really cool at the same time, and just... I don't even know if this was like the manga, but even if it wasn't like the manga, this was still hilarious and still was a good place to end the first season. As far as closure goes, we get 2 of the Claw members realizing they're just normal people, even if they have powers, and then the boss gets taken out by that one dude who's just kind of been around doing like his inspection and shit, and we don't really... he was a little shady. The kid, he talks to someone on the phone, and we don't know who this guy is, but... he basically, the way they were talking, it almost sounded like this guy's not part of the Claw organization, possibly, and apparently it's the kid's dad as well, but yeah, I'm not too sure if they were a different branch, or like he's the boss, or what the fuck, but yeah, it was an interesting little cliffhanger ending there, and then we get, Hana, whatever his name is, Teru was like his name. He looks better with the wig cut, by the way. I don't even know why he had a wig that tall in the first one. It was like the only wig they had. Anyways, that aside, he's going to train with the other kids to make their powers less fucking bitch-made. And right now they are very bitch-made, but we'll see what happens when he trains them possibly in Season 2. If we get a Season 2, which would be really cool because I really enjoyed this first season. A lot more than I thought I would, based on the first couple episodes. What else happened? Dimple is back. That was also a great, funny reveal. You could see it coming, but it's still really funny when it happens. He just neck chops that dude, and it was great. And now Reigen can see him. Apparently the ability to see spirits like that was awakened by Mob transferring his powers. So he's not going to become a psychic or anything, which is okay, because if he turned out to be a psychic, it would take away some of the comedic value of his character, but, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where things go if we do get a Season 2 with him being able to see Dimple and everything, and apparently Dimple is stronger than he used to be, so that could go somewhere, and I ended up liking Dimple more than I originally did. He's still not one of my favorites, but I do like him more than I originally thought I was going to, so yeah, this was just a great episode. I'd probably give it a solid 9.5 to 10 out of 10. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was really funny, really phenomenal animation, really good story progression, gave you really good finality to the big fight and the arc itself, but still gave you closure to the season and everything. So yeah, even like a bunch of the side characters too, which that was a little weird because there's not a lot of focus on them throughout the season, so to have like that guy who framed the one school punk say he's going to confess and everything, it kind of feels a little out of nowhere because he was such a sidelined character and we didn't get really a lot of characterization or background on him, so some of it feels a touch rushed or a touch like glossed over, so that's a little bit of a negative. I'd probably dunk that to like a 9.5, honestly. I mean, I loved the first portion of the episode, but the second portion does feel like it glosses over some of the side characters, and they of course get expanded on in a second season, but a season should still have its own like self-contained thing going on, like what Bones did with I was going to say Mob Psycho 100, what the fuck? With This Is Mob Psycho. With My Hero Academia, it felt a lot more contained for a first season, and that's maybe due to the manga, but still, We'll just have to wait and see what happens with Mob Psycho, possibly with a season 2. But if that stuff was just like cut from the manga and they just sort of glossed over it in that regard, you guys can tell me in the comment section below. You can also tell me if this finale was like the manga's version of the arc, because I know Bones has made significant changes to stories in the past, like Soul Eater and their original version of Full Metal Alchemist. So, yeah, but if this was different from the manga, you guys can go ahead and tell me in the comment section below. Do you guys think it was a worthy replacement to what happened in the manga? Do you think they butchered it? You guys go ahead and tell me. And I guess that's a good segue to wrap up this review since I already gave it a rating. Loved this episode, really, really great. Just some glossed over side characters, which I thought was a negative, but other than that, I really loved it. Reigen's one of my favorite characters, and it was just a really fun finale to the season, and definitely unconventional and not what you'd expect, which is great. So, yeah, and you can backfire on that. I think Hunter x Hunter, even though it might be blasphemy to say, I think Hunter x Hunter, trying to be unconventional as it was, backfired in a lot of ways where moments just felt anticlimactic or not as cool as they could have been if Togashi had just decided to do something that was cliche. So avoiding cliches can backfire, and I think this was done in a really, really phenomenal way. So, with all that being said, I really enjoyed this episode of Mob Psycho 100. What did you guys think of this episode? You guys gotta go ahead and tell me in the comments section below. You can also follow me on Instagram or add me on PSN. I'm petplatypus on both. Also give this video a thumbs up and share it on social media. Both those would help me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you like what you've seen here, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.